when it happened, I'm like, man, what the hell is Tyrese doing? He just he just threw the ball away. This is just my thoughts in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they slowed it down, they showed the replay, and you saw the calf, like you saw it happen, and you saw him fall, and you saw his face. And then I remember something that you said when you hurt yourself, when you ruptured your Achilles, you looked back because you thought that somebody kicked you or tripped you.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyrese Haliburton did the same thing. He gave the look back, and I was like, damn, it really was that serious. The calf strain, they were nicely putting it with the calf strain. And I think that's where the teams are that's where they're going wrong. You got to stop nicely putting calf strain, because calf strain, you know, I guess it leads people to believe that players are able to play. And I know
Well,
Bong was one that was
you,
saying,
you you don't think they told him the 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 real extent behind the scenes? You don't think they talked to Halliburton about it? Maybe to the public they softened it with calf strain, but you don't think, obviously because you're not trying to show your hand and all of that
yeah,
stuff. But
I don't know, because he was so herky jerky in game 6. I don't know. Like, it wasn't like, so like the Bucks, they shut Giannis down. They're like, nah, 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 nah. It's not happening. His calf is messed up. He was out for a while. KD in the playoffs, when he was going through his calf strain, he was out for a while. And then he came back and was cooking in the beginning. We like, God damn, KD could take a year off and come back and still cook people.
yeah,
Um, but Halliburton never had that time off. So it just kind of leads me to wonder, like, did they share this information with him? Did they share the risks, or were they more so saying, it's going to be low risk? You got a calf strain. You get through these 2 games, and you'll be able to recover in the off season.
and
Long
like
being
I say,
one.
Scotty Boy said Halliburton knew his ass wasn't supposed to play. I I think, like I say, I think they told him what the deal was, right? I think they told him, like, you run the risk of an Achilles tear, right? I mean, especially given the history, most recent in a situation like that where the stakes are high, Kevin Durant, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I think Halliburton did know, but I think it was softened for the public, right? Whether they didn't want to show Halliburton is truly hurt, we're going to be without our guy. So they
Mhm.
don't say much, and then they gamble, take a gamble, game 6, it pays off. So they're like, shit, let's roll the dice again. Unfortunately, crapped out in this one, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and he knew because he started slapping the floor. Crazy thing, I was
Oh
slapping
man.
the floor too.
Damn.
I was punching the floor like, damn, because I knew it was. When I looked back and saw that it was nobody behind me, and
Hmm.
they was look, Max was there. Max could tell you he was looking at me like, nigga, I didn't trip you. Then I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, like I know it's something. Okay,
Yo,
okay,
yo,
I'll
yo,
look,
yo,
Tez.
mic check, mic check,
Yeah, yeah,
mic
yeah.
check.
We got you. We got you.
Yep.
Okay, okay, for sure. Um, and I'll say what I'm saying for a minute now. You got to let history be your guide. Um, the calf strain has never ended well. Got multiple examples just in the NBA. You got Kevin Durant, which is probably the most high profile because it happened in the finals, like we're in the finals right now. Then you have Jason Tatum, another example, right? Didn't Dame Lillard have the calf strain as well?
Um, so they ruptured their Achilles, but they didn't have calf strains prior to the rupture. Giannis had the calf strain the year before, and Milwaukee sat him.
Mm.
And wasn't Dame Lillard also a calf strain that turned into an Achilles?
No, it was non-contact with Dame.
He had
No, he
something
did.
that he was coming
He
back
did.
from.
I think he did have a calf strain.
I thought it was
KP.
hams. I thought
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
hamstring.
yeah, yeah. So, he was coming back. That was a calf strain as well. So you have three examples right there where it was like, hey man, history tells us that if you have a calf strain and you try and play on it within a week or within a week and a half, or you're probably going to tear your Achilles. But on the bright side, or I guess on the other side of the coin, Halliburton is signed with Indiana through 28, 29.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about contract negotiations where a team could do him like Boston did Isaiah Thomas when he injured himself and he hasn't been in the league since, or he bounced around for a little bit. But so he does have some security, which makes it a little bit easier to take that risk. But at the end of the day, if I'm Halliburton's dad, if I'm Halliburton's agent, if I'm Halliburton's representatives, I tell him we're not playing.
Well, you,
That's just me.
you talking about you talking about we're not playing when next season?
No. We weren't
You're talking
playing
about in
Oh,
game
in this
hindsight.
six.
in now in
In
this.
Yeah,
hindsight.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Once the
Bond,
strain
I
happened,
gotta ask this though. With a
I hear
championship on
the
the line,
argument that's coming. I know, I know.
with a
I,
championship
I
on
I
the
know the
line, you're
argument.
not doing it.
Man, not if it can change my career. Like if you're talking about an injury that, hey, it's pain tolerance, it's something we have to deal with, but you know, it's just, hey man, how much pain can you tolerate? But if you're talking about a potential injury that can zap your career, and remember, this was game 5, you're down 3-2. It's not like it was game 7 when he got the calf, or it was game 6 when he got the calf strain and he wanted to play one more game. It was game. So you guys were down 3-2, and you would have had to have win game 6, then win game 7 against a superior team.
Um, as a player, KP, are you hooping?
I'm playing,
I,
but
I
it
I'm
depend.
playing.
But it also depends on what the medical doctors say to me.
Yeah, but that's what
So,
Bong is saying.
yeah,
Bong
no,
is
I'm saying,
saying
so if they're like, well, I mean, in the beginning, I feel like I don't think that they told them exactly what the risk could have
no,
been.
KP. That's it.
I-
That would be irresponsible for the doctors to not tell him. I'm pretty sure they told him like you run the risk of tearing your Achilles, dog.
It,
If they
even
didn't fire the
No,
entire
no, no. Let
medical
me say
staff,
this. Let me say this. You can tell someone, you run the risk of tearing your Achilles, and then the question is, well, what percentage would you say?
who knows the true
Hey
And
DP, I
percentage
don't know.
though?
no, 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 I know, but
Hey DP,
and
I
what
don't
I'm
know if
saying is,
KP's talking, but I can't hear him.
oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he
yeah, I'm
he
talking.
is.
So
Yeah, I haven't been able
if
to hear him since I got on.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. Hold on. Go
so
ahead. Keep going. Can you hear him now, Bong?
so in the case of the situation with Halliburton,
No, not yet.
let's say if the medical staff is like, yeah, there is a chance that you can rupture your Achilles, and I'm like, okay, and I'm Halliburton, and I say, oh, what's the percentage? It's a 20% chance. It was a 20% chance, and I know that I've played in game 6 and I was able to play well, I'm playing. But
But
if they say it's a 50, if it's 50-50, 50-50, I really got to sit and think about
they
it.
probably told him it's 50-50. How can you tell them it's a 20% chance or it's a 15% chance? They can't really calculate that shit unless you clearly see, oh, here's a tear. You still don't know if it's going when it would fully rupture. You just tell them, look, dog, this is a strain. It's a grade this, a grade that. You go out there, there's a strong possibility you can tear it. And I think they were straight up with him. If they're not, then they get them doctors the fuck up out of there. Like, I feel you. I hear what you're saying. I just think they did tell him. I think they
I
massaged it
hope
with
they
the public like they
yeah.
normally do with all these injuries. Nobody ever really comes
I,
out and says really what it is with an injury like that. Oh, he's
But
dealing
we
with a calf strain.
but we know that NBA doctors have I don't want to say practice malpractice, but I'll say have been unethical, i.e. the Lakers when they had to fire their doctor behind Anthony Davis when that dude kept getting hurt and what the doctors were doing. So, to make it seem like the doctors can't do it, it is a possibility. I just wonder how much was really disclosed.
But let me pose this question real quick, DP.
Go ahead.
If you could pose this one, if
Go
you could
ahead.
pose this one to KP. So let's fast forward to 2026
Mm-hmm.
NBA Finals. We have a superstar player on the team that gets a calf strain.
Mm-hmm.
Are we? And they have I'm talking about a long, what do they call a rap sheet long full of history that says, damn it, if you play, you're gonna fucking rupture your Achilles. Does the guy next year, after seeing Haliburton, what he went through this year, what Jason Tatum went through this year, what Kevin Durant went through at Golden State, what Dame Lillard went through this, I think Dame Lillard was this year as well. So we had 3 ruptured Achilles just this year alone in the playoffs.
I think
Does the person in 26 do the same thing and say, "Hey man, I'm gonna tough it out because," you get what I'm saying?
yeah, I think I this is the way I look at it, Bong. I say yeah, because that type of injury, motherfucker could come in next year thinking he's cool and rupture it after 15 games in the season. It's one of those things. Like that, I've never heard anybody say like they could pretty much tell exactly when some shit is about to happen, especially with like the Achilles, right? I mean, there's some telltale signs, like you say, you got history and all of that kind of stuff. There's some indicators, but I mean, who's to say they'll make it back to the championship one, and then who's to say it won't happen next year anyway? Like, so let's say he would have sat out, didn't play, and then he come back and played, and then injured it early next season. Then he would have really been like, man, shit, I should have just hooped in the motherfucking championship.